Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope all is well. Of course, we're waiting for everybody to get on in here. But I hope everybody's doing all right. Let's see. All right, looks like we are almost all in here. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody's all right. Just like to give you guys a heads up. And there's nothing bad. I have my what is it called? What is it called? Evaluation. And he picked this class. My dean picked this class to come and do the evaluation. So on the 18th, just letting you know that I will have the dean, sitting in the class, monitoring, just like you guys are. So you wouldn't do anything different, but I still, just give you a heads up. That's what would be going on. Just in case you see a doctor in the building that you didn't normally see if you go scrolling through the list of names. But it's nothing bad though. It has no connection with the other situation, but it was just something that normally happens every semester anyway. So yeah. So we're all good. But on that day, it will be a full class period, of course. I can't cut that day short. So just let you know that. Let's see, did you get extra credit for looking presentable on the Zoom?
The class ain't like too fast paced then, since we're gonna do the entire class. We're gonna go super slow, huh?
Well, I'll just do it like I normally do it. I try not to, of course, and then, I'll try to pace it out. But it's going to be a regular day. It's just that whatever I was going to teach that day, I'm just going to make sure that I kind of extend it out. So yeah, that's what it would be. I wouldn't just put a whole bunch in there, just try to run through it. Nah, it's just like whatever we do that day. And then if I look at it though, and I see that it might be a short class, then what I may do is do maybe the class before. I'll let you guys know what I'm gonna do, just in case let's say if I know that will be a short lecture, but the previous class was a longer lecture, then maybe I'll just discuss that and y'all just act like it's okay. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty a review wouldn't be the worst thing in the world when it comes to content anyway. So I wear nicer clothes. Yeah. Appreciate it. But it's not as serious though. It's not as serious. Oh yeah, for sure. If y'all want to ask questions, feel free to do so. Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, if you have questions, feel free. So you guys really wouldn't act any different. It's just I'm just giving you a heads up. That's all. Just giving you a heads up. Williams, were you about to say something? Okay.
Nah, I couldn't get my microphone to work or my earbuds to work, so I don't have a clue of what you just said, other than the dean's supposed to be here on the 18th, I think.
Yeah, that's all. It's just that I was just making sure that if you were to see the dean's name in there, you didn't think it was anything connected. 'Cause I know we some of you did feel some kind of way about the issue before. I just want to make sure we understand that's not connected. You know what I mean? They're not connected, so it's all good.
Does that dean know what he's walking into in this class? We seem to be pretty vocal about it. So, I mean, we can have a powwow while the dean's here if you want. We can do it just amongst the students.
Right. No, I don't. Well, he doesn't know. But yeah, I don't think we have, because he hasn't hit me back. So it might have been just one of those things where, look, I'm gonna send this email, and then and then he just was, washed his hands of the situation. So I guess as long as he doesn't hear anything else about it, then it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? So yeah, we should be
medical
good.
class teacher is getting like real. Okay, so essentially I had this intro to medical terminology class.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of never been to a session of the classes on Saturday, like 10 o'clock. I missed the first class because I thought it was at 12 o'clock. And then subsequently the teacher always never found a way to have the class again. And like I got an email from all my fellow classmates that was like, when you send an email to everyone in your class,
Mm-hmm.
did that, and they were just like furious and livid that there was no classes, and they like were just getting the other students to call the deans and stuff.
Oh wow. Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, like on one hand, I feel bad for the teachers because that's gonna be looking funny because like they posted up something like oh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't get the recording for the 25th. There were some issues with Zoom, all this sort of stuff. I'm not sure whether it's true or not, but I don't really care because I don't like doing work. Like, on one hand, I feel bad for the teacher because, like, I didn't do any work and I'm cool with that. But other people who, like, didn't pay financial aid money are like, I really want to get my worth out of this class.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel bad for them. But at the same time, I can't empathize with that. Like,
Right. You're stuck in the middle.
I'm stuck in the. I'm just hoping that I can leave this with an A and not have to take any more health courses.
I feel you on that. Oh man. So with that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and finish off chapter 2. Next class will be an open class for questions. If you have them, I won't do anything new next class. So you'll be able to bring whatever questions you want to bring to class and we can talk about them. The next class will not be anything new. So here we're looking at finishing off 2.7. And remember, last thing we left off with was the horizontal line test. So now we're looking at finding the inverse. I said inverse. So first thing you want to do is check to see if the function is 1-to-1. If it is not 1-to-1, then there is no inverse. So no calculation, nothing, no steps to follow. If you check your graph, run a horizontal line through it. If it touches it more than once, it's not 1-to-1. So there is no inverse. All right. So, but if there is an inverse, if it is 1-to-1, you follow, go ahead through steps 2 through 5. You would replace f of x with y, interchange x and y, solve for y, and then replace y with f inverse of x.
What does that word say on number 1?
Check to see if the function, you talking about check?
No, after is.
It's
1-to-1.
1-to-1.
1-to-1. Mm-hmm.
It definitely looks like what's it called?
Something else.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh man, too funny. All right, try to scroll up a little. Of course, if you copying, scroll up, let me know. So we're going to follow those steps. We have f of x is equal to x cubed plus 1. And we want to find the inverse. So first step, you want to establish that it is 1-to-1 or that it is or is not 1-to-1. So just throw that function in the calculator or graphing tool. And here we see our cubic function is going to be 1-to-1 no matter where you draw that horizontal line. So I'm going to touch it once. Step 2, replace f of x with y. So before we had f of x is equal to x cubed plus 1. Now we have y is equal to x cubed plus 1. Step 3, interchange x and y. So notice that before it was y equal to x cubed. Now it's x equal to y cubed. So we just switch the spots. And then solve for y. So we had x equal to y cubed plus 1. Subtract subtract 1 from both sides, and that will give us x minus y equal to y cubed. Take the cube root of both sides. And then we have y equal to cube root of x minus 1. right, scrolling up. Done with step one. So last step, no calculation, just notation. You replace y with f inverse of x. So our inverse is the cube root of x minus 1. All right. Questions on that before we look at another one? All right, so the next one, x squared plus 3x minus 5. All right. So first step, everybody's make sure I'm good. All right. First step, see if the function is 1-to-1. Parabola is not 1-to-1. Therefore, there is no inverse. Everybody still holding on to step 5? So now this next part you don't have to show. I'm just showing you why there is no inverse. If you were to look at the inverse that would be created by x squared plus 3x minus 5, it would actually give you this. And then this would actually not pass the vertical line test. Remember, the vertical line test is the test to see if you just have a function. So that function that does not pass the 1-to-1 test, that horizontal line test, actually turns into the vertical line test. And so that's why you would not have a function. So any function that does not pass the horizontal line test does not have a function, or does not have an inverse, excuse me. And the reason being is because that inverse would not pass the vertical line test.
And you said you get that just by plugging this formula into the graphing calculator and graphing it.
Tell me this part right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Just throw it in a,
Okay.
a graphing tool or graphing calculator. Recognize you see that you have a parabola, run a horizontal line through it, whether it's mentally or whatever, and you see that it touches it twice, so you know that you don't have to go any further.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any problems before we do one more? All right, can I scroll up? All right, so that's the next one. F of x is equal to x plus 2 over x minus 3. All right, so once again, throw it in the calculator. It will pass the 1-to-1 test. All right, any problems? Can I scroll up? All right, so once we realize that it passed or have established that it passed the 1-to-1, now we need to not subtract, but substitute y for f of x. We're gonna put that back in there. And then we need to interchange x and y. So notice x is here now and y is in both of these spots where x was. So wherever x was, that's where y will be, and wherever y was, that's where x will be. So we're interchanging x and y. All right. So we need access to all of our y's. We have this y down here. So to get that out of the denominator, we multiply both sides by y minus 3. Cancels out on the right, and that leaves us with x times y minus 3 equal to y plus 2. All right, anybody still holding on to that first step? All right. So we distribute x, and now we have xy minus 3x plus y plus, I mean, it's y plus, it's xy minus 3x equal to y plus 2. And notice we have y in two different terms on different sides of our equation. So we need to get our y terms on one side, and then our x terms on the, not x terms, but terms without y to the other side. Doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as each one of your y terms are on one side, each one of your terms without y are on the other side. So I'm going to subtract xy from both sides and subtract 2 from both sides. So xy cancels out here, 2 cancels here, and that gives me the next line, negative 3x minus 2 and y minus xy.
I got a question.
Yep.
So when you subtracted 2 from both sides,
Mhm.
why did you subtract it from the 2x? Because the 2 doesn't have the variable with it?
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
So that's all you could do was write negative 3x minus 2.
Okay.
Mhm. All right, next step, the reason why you get all of your terms with y on one side so that we can factor out y, and now we have a single y. Remember, that's our goal, which is to have that single y to solve for. So we pull y out of each term. So now on the right, it says y, we have y times 1 minus x. Divide both sides by 1 minus x. So we can finally get y by itself. And that is our result, negative 3x minus 2 over 1 minus x. Questions, any questions? All right, finish it off with the notation, putting f inverse of x in for y. That's your inverse. All right. Any problems, any questions? So try these problems out. See if you see one that doesn't sit right with you, and make sure you bring in to class. And we're gonna go to 2.8, which is a little lighter. But just remember, make proper use of that free day. Gather your questions this weekend. If you see problems that you may not have tried, but you just know you don't know where to start, that will be the day. Bring it to class, and we can go over them. Make sure you're good. Or like a few of your classmates have mentioned, don't forget we do have them hours set up. You can come bring questions. But like I said, all I ask is that go ahead and bring them, and don't say, hey, I got a problem with the distance formula. It's just like, okay, well, is there a problem you want me to do? Like, let's streamline, our studies and streamline the time. So that way, if there's multiple people, you're not just sitting around trying to find a problem. You already have a problem that you want me to do, and you can ask your classmates. That's what they do. They just bring problems, and we just knock them out and walk through them. So, and that's the best way to make proper use of everybody's time. So yeah, bring those questions if you have them. So here, 2.8 distance formula, midpoint, and circles. Last thing out of this chapter. So the distance formula is D equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. D represents the distance between the 2 points. Everybody done with that title? Then we have x1, y1 is 0.1, x2, y2 is 0.2. So we're talking about putting a numerical value on the distance between 2 points. All right, scrolling up. So directions could just be find the distance between, -1, 4, 3, -2. As always, if you have points, it's best to go ahead and establish which one you call them 0.1 and which one you call them 0.2. That's what I did here. x1, y1, -1, 4, x2, y2, 3, -2. And then once you do that, plug it in accordingly. But don't the first part. All right. So plugging in 3 for x2, -1 for x1. Make sure you don't lose a negative. Minus sign the formula, plugging in -1. Then you plug in -2 for y2 and 4 for y1. So under the radical, that end up being 4 squared plus -6 squared. 16 plus 36 is 52. Then don't forget you are expected to evaluate whether 52 can be broken down further. And that goes back to when we did things in chapter 1, simplifying the radicals as much as possible. 52 can be broken up into 4 times 13. Take the square root of 4, that's 2. These are 13 under the radical, so we have 2 square root of 13.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why isn't that 36 negative? Because it's -6.
Well, you square it. So that's -6 times
Ah.
-6.
Got it.
Mhm. All right, scrolling up some. Looking at the midpoint formula. So now we're looking at the point that's in the middle of our 2 points. So this is actually a point, not a solid number. These are coordinates of a point. So x1 plus x2 over 2 would be your x component. Y2 plus y1 plus y2 over 2 would be your y component of your midpoint. Somebody's still on the red. If I go up too far, let me know. So I want to find the midpoint of the endpoints, 1, -6, and -8, -4. All right. Once again, establish which one is x1, y1, and which one is x2, y2. Plug in your values accordingly. X1 is 1, x2 is -8, y1 is -4, y1 is -6, y2 is -4. And we're still on the black. All right, so simplify that. That's -7 over 2, -10 over 2, and then -10 over 2 goes to 5. So those are that is the coordinates of your midpoint.
Now, since it's a fraction, would we go back to that like down 7 over 2 thing to graph that, or
Oh
that doesn't
no,
matter?
yeah, that's just the point. So actually, if you want to rewrite that as 3.5, you could.
Okay.
Yeah, that's only when your slope. Now that your slope was -7 over 2, then you would do that because your slope is not a point. Your slope is some directions, but this is an actual point. Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. Good question. All right. Anybody else before we do the last thing out of this section? Looking at them circles. All right, scrolling up some. All right, so I'm gonna leave some of this red. Of course, if you're still on the red, let me know. So we're looking at circles now, just giving you a worded definition. I know you guys know what a circle look like when you see it, but just a word definition mathematically of what a circle is a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point. And that fixed point is called the center. Hold on, somebody trying to come in here? Yes. All right. And the fixed distance from the circle center to any point on the circle is called the radius. All right, scrolling up. So we have our standard form of the equation of a circle. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared, where your center is hk, radius is r. Also take note of what I mentioned in the purple circle. The coordinates of your center will be the opposite of the signs that are in the equation. Notice you have minus h and minus k in your equation, but the center is just h and k. So you would use the opposite signs. All right, let's go up. So it says write the standard form of the equation of the circle with the center -2, 3, and radius 4. See, is anybody holding on to the black? All right, so they give us the coordinates of our center, h and k, which is -2, 3, and then they give us r, the radius is 4. So if they ask you to write the standard form of the equation and they give you those details, you go ahead and just plug them in. So notice we plug in -2 for h, 3 for k, and then 4 for r, and then we simplify. So it's x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equal to 16. Any problems with that? Any problems?
Yeah, can you slow up just a bit?
Said go real fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody done with the black though?
All right, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Everybody good with that last one? Scroll up some. So next one, we want to find the center and radius. So this time it's the reverse. Last time they gave us the center and the radius, told us to write the standard equation. This time they give us the standard equation, ask us to extract the center and radius from that, and then draw a rough sketch of your graph of the circle. So once again, remember whatever signs you have in your equation, you use the opposite signs for your coordinates. So notice we have x minus 2 and y plus 4. So that means the coordinates of my center will be positive 2 and negative 4. And then 9 is going to represent r squared. So you take the square root of 9 and your radius is 3. Everybody okay with that? And then if you just had to do a rough sketch of your circle, you just grab the center first and then go out from the center, in the 4 major directions, up, down, left, right, 3. Whatever your radius is, you go up, down, left, right, that, and that'll be a rough sketch. Just draw your, connect your dots in circular form. So you graph your center, then go out in your 4 directions from your center, the number of whatever the radius is. In this case, it's 3. And then you just make your circle. All right, everybody ready for the last thing out of this section, which is the last thing out of chapter 2. So it's the general form of the equation of a circle. Before that was considered the standard form. This is the general form. And so if you were to go back to the standard form, well, looking at this general form, we have x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equal to 0. So in other words, you're just taking everything, putting it on one side of the equation and expanding it out. So if I were to, let's go back here, if I were to expand, each one of these squares and then bring the 9 over, that's putting it in general form. So that's all that is. So what they're going to do in this last exercise is give us the equation in general form and ask us to convert it to standard form. All right, scrolling up. So they want us to write the equation in standard form and then give the center and radius. Because once you have it in standard form, you can pick out the coordinates of your center and the number of your radius. All right. So I got these steps here. Don't believe these steps are in the book. So if you go looking for them, you might not find them. I don't remember, but I know I probably made them up myself. But So here, first thing you want to do is isolate the constant. In other words, get that number to one side by itself. So we add 23 to both sides. All right, scrolling up some. Then we're going to group together the like variables. So x squared and the 4x, put it in the same parentheses. Y squared and the 6y, put those in the same parentheses. Also take note that whatever's negative needs to stay negative and whatever's positive needs to stay positive. So no matter how many terms you rearrange or where you put them, notice that 6y is still negative, 4x still positive, same thing with the x and y squared. So make sure that you hold true to whatever your signs are, that they stay that. All right. So now we're going to use the completing the square methodology. So what we mean by that is we're going to take half of the linear term and square it. So we're talking about 4x and this 6y. We're going to take half of both of those individually and square them. So that's why we did half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Then half of -6 is -3. -3 squared is 9. Everybody okay? Once you have those two numbers, you're going to add both numbers to both sides of the equation. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So if you're going to add 4 to one side, you have to add 4 to the other side of the equation. So you're going to add both, though, to both sides of the equation. And we also need to put each number in their respective parentheses. So I'll show you what that means in a second. Just want to make sure everybody's okay with step 3 before I scroll up. All right, good so far.
I'm still on 3.
How far up? Need the whole thing? All right, gonna scroll up some. All right, so that's the end of step 4. Gotta add both numbers to both sides of the equation, but you're gonna put each number in their respective parentheses. You know that 4 came from the 4x parentheses, that 9 came from the 6y parentheses. So, and then we have 4 plus 9 over there with the 23. All right, scrolling up. Step 5, want to factor each trinomial and simplify the other side. So on that right side, 23, 4, and 9 will just give us 36. And here we're going to factor each one of these trinomials. I say each one, both of them, say it like that. And don't forget, and if you ever had trouble with your factoring, whatever half these terms are, they go right here. So x plus 2 and y minus 3 squared. And then we have equal to 36. Once you have it in this form, we can pick out the center and the radius. That's hilarious. Oh man, that's too funny. Yeah, any questions? Any questions? All right, so our center is -2, 3. Remember, you take the opposite signs of what's in your equation and then take the square root of the number on the side by itself. Square root of 36 is 6. That's our radius. Problems, any problems, any problems? All right, let's see, let's see. So we good, I can scroll up, everybody straight. All right, so up here, that's just a bunch of new stuff. So next class, and before we leave, I'll make sure everybody's straight, but I just want to go ahead and go here. That's it for 2.8. So that means that's it for chapter 2. Next class, like I mentioned, review day. So I'm not going to do anything new on Monday. The floor will be open for you guys to ask whatever questions that you want to ask. I just ask that you bring them, versus saying I got a problem in chapter 1. It's just like, but no, bring the questions that you want to see done so we can make sure everybody gets their question in. I decided to make the due date 10/17. I was trying to figure out between that and 10/10, but I went ahead and decided to give you 17. And chapter 2's test will be unproctored as well. So
Just to be clear, chapter 2 is due on 17th.
yes, all of chapter 2's content is due on the 17th.
All right.
Unless you wanted another day, sir. Is there another day in mind that you would like?
If you could push it up to 20, I appreciate it.
You said 20.
Yeah, 20.
What is 20 so special? What makes 20 so special?
Well, first, it's an even number. Second, it's 3 more days than 17. That's 3 more days to avoid an F.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how the 17th work for us, and then we'll go from there. We'll talk about it. All right. So I'm gonna let test 2 be unproctored as well. T-Rex said he likes that idea.
See, that's the majority vote right there.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. When I go put the dates in, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind.
That's a question.
Somebody said they have a question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
For the test, like, out of the test, like if you take it multiple times, will it basically be the one that we got the highest that will be put in the grade book, or the one that we last did?
The highest. It's the highest.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. As a matter of fact, that's the one that pops up for me. I can go look for the other score, but I really don't go looking for what's your lowest score. I just look at the highest one. So that's the one that my math lab automatically gives me. Yep.
Yep.
Somebody else is saying something? Everybody good? Okay. So that's what we're looking at doing. Yes, I'm listening.
You said email you the scratch work for the test, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Not a problem. And also, if anybody didn't get chapter 1 stuff in, make sure you email me so we can see if we can work something out. No purpose in taking zeros or L's if you don't have to. I'm willing to work with you if you're trying to create a plan to help yourself get caught up.
We still have till the 2nd on that, right?
Man, I don't remember what I
Eric,
told y'all. I don't.
You said
I don't know.
October 3rd because that's the thing that's in math labs, and I'm going
Okay,
off.
if that's what it say, that's what it is. I can't keep up, man. I got so many dates and so many
I do
classes.
have a question for you because I'm getting ready to take that test.
Okay.
Does it only give you the chance to put in the answer one time for the test?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's supposed to simulate the actual test taking process. So yeah.
Okay.
So now I
Because
did.
I
give you-
noticed that it had that little make sure you know how to enter into math lab, and that's just what my anxiety comes in because me and math lab, we don't get along, man. I've taken her to dinner, I wined her and dined her, and she still hates me. So
Right.
I'm worried that I'm gonna screw up on like my entering method, even though I might have the right answer.
Right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. If if there's a syntax error, if you put in x equal to 2 and all my math lab wanted was 2, let me know. I can adjust scores. I can't adjust stuff that I don't know nothing about. You know what I mean? So that goes back to communicate and make sure you guys go review your test, because I'm not combing through all of the tests trying to figure out where I can add points. You know what I mean? So make sure you go and review your test, because you might have made a mistake that you didn't even know you made. And you're like, hold on, that's right. If you even have questions about possibly getting partial credit, I can adjust scores. I just don't know, like I said, unless you bring it to my attention. So, yep.
And it will pop up and show us which ones we got wrong at the end of it, correct?
If
Okay.
nothing else, you can hover over it and it should pop up. Either click it or hover over it with your mouse or the arrow, and it'll show what the correct answer is and then what you put in.
Okay, perfect.
Because I think it shows you automatically what the correct answer is, but if you hover over it, it'll show you both of them.
Yeah. So for the scratch paper, you wanted us to email it?
Yes, please. At vtucker at TCC.
I finished the last test. I actually got a pretty good score, an 82, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Cool. All right, but yeah, shoot that scratch work to me as soon as possible. All right. Anything else? Anybody else?
I just want to give you a forewarn. You're not going to be able to read my scratch sheet. I'm going to take pictures and all that, but I write in different language. It's called the chicken scratcher.
Chicken scratcher, huh? Thank you for the warning, sir. Miss Dawn, I saw you unmuted.
For chapter 3, what is it? More graphing? Like, what are we going to be doing in chapter 3?
It's solving. Do we have graphing in there? No, graphing should be done. Yeah, just solving the solutions and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then chapter 4 is dealing with logs and exponential. Anything else? Anybody else before we close? Everybody good? All right. So if you guys are good, I'm good. I'm gonna let that 10-20 marinate, and then possibly go ahead and put that in Math Lab. So other than that, you guys have a good one. Have a great weekend. Like I said, take this weekend out to generate your questions, and then bring them on Monday, and we'll knock them out. Other than that, you guys have a good one. Yep, you have a good one as well. Take care. Be safe.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Are you still planning on having the office hours today?
Yeah. Yep. I'll be there.
All
Did
right.
you end up coming last time?
Dude, I was trying to take my English exam and it was
Mhm.
having huge glitches inside of Canvas.
Oh.
And like it was literally like kicking me out and I had a time to get it in. Well, I guess like she got bombarded with emails and there was a huge problem. So she ended up just
Gotcha.
scrapping the test. So I got to take it today.
Oh, okay.
So if I can get that knocked out, because I definitely have a couple of questions on just like making sure I'm entering everything properly in the math lab, because I don't want that to be the reason I don't score well.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Gotcha.
gonna
Gotcha.
frustrate me because I have put a lot of time into this.
Right.
So,
Right. I just want to make sure I didn't miss you because at one point, there was nobody there, so I went in and left because I had to go take care of something. But like I said, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss you. So.
Nah, yeah, I got hung up on that. So hopefully I can get that taken care of, and then I'll be there this afternoon.
Sounds
If
good.
not, I'll 100% be there Friday.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. It's all good.
All right, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it, bud.
Yep. Take care.
You too, bud.
I'll be there today. I got all the questions on 2.5 and how to enter
No, just
it in
playing.
calculator. Because I was just to complete the homework, it was
Uh-huh.
unlimited click and tries. So I just
Right.
clicked. I have no idea how to freaking do it, but I
Okay.
got 100% on it. So
At 2.5, you said it was the graphing, right? That's the one you
yeah,
were talking about? Uh-huh.
yep. And so
Okay,
I don't
cool.
understand how to, like, I get how to do the graphing in the calculator,
Mhm.
but it's not giving me the answers.
Mm.
I don't
Okay.
know what I'm doing.
Okay, so we'll take a look at it.
All right. Thank you.
All right, not a problem. Take care.
Bye.